What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for finding the channel. My name's RJ, and this is a freaking great one. Back in December, we did our 4-year anniversary. We did what we call a Bit-a-Thon, and we gave away a bunch of skins on Stream Raiders, and we had a great time. And we had 3 great guests that comes on with me: AllyRosePetal, MissNightAngelx, and CBCGwun. They came on and just basically took over the stream and asked me a bunch of questions to try to get to know me. Finally, a interview of me. And y'all should know me by now. I have this weird way of not letting it be about me. So a lot of the questions they asked was a lot of me turning it back on them and getting some information off them. So not only did you learn a lot about me over this interview that we did in December, but we also learned a lot about the 3 individuals that took over the stream. So all 3 of them are moderators in the channel, and we appreciate them coming in and doing their thing during our Bit-a-Thon. They actually killed it with the monitoring the stream and all that kind of stuff, and I appreciate that. So in this interview, this sit down, we usually sit down with one person, ask them a bunch of questions, and we had a 1v3 action, and 3 people asked me a bunch of questions, and we had a great time doing it. So you found a great video, you found a great channel, and thank you so much for all the support in the last 4 years, because, you know, like I said, we did this over our 4-year stream anniversary over on Twitch. So if you want to see one of these 101 or one of these types of interviews live and in action, go ahead and drop me a follow over on Liquid Music ENT over on Twitch, and you'll get to see one of these live. And what we usually do for these questions and one of these sit downs, we usually go one-on-one and ask a bunch of questions. Then we stop the recording for YouTube, and then we sit down and actually BS a lot shortly thereafter. So if you want to catch some stuff live and get some of the extra stuff that you don't see here on YouTube, then you got to come over and check it out. In the month of January, when this comes out, we're going to be sitting down again with CBCGwun and get to know him as well. We sat down with him before when we used to play video games, when we used to do co-host streams, but now that we've kind of turned it into an interview, we want to get to know all the streamers out there, all the people in the community, and everything in between. So y'all, seriously, thank you so much for hanging out and finding the channel. And this is it right here. You get to know me. You get to know more about me, which I don't know if you want to sit down and watch a video and you get to know about me, but you know what? Ask me anything. It was the category, and they talked about my military life, my streaming life, my family life, and all the things in between. And it was super fun to sit down and let you guys get to know me a little bit more. So I appreciate it. 4 years, streams. It's been a journey, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. But stick around. We're gonna go 30 seconds in and go into the video and learn a little bit more about me. So thank you so much, and have a good one. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace. But this time, for some reason, I wanted to put myself in a hot chair. For 4 years of streaming, we're going to be doing this once a year, give or take, probably. But for the YouTube channel, this is for put myself in this hot seat. And for those that have been around the channel for a very long time, I brought in 3 other mods that I trust very dearly: AllyRosePetal, MissNightAngelx, and CBCGwun, to put myself in a hot seat. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them on. You can hear them, you can see them, everybody can hang out. And hi, by the way. I know I'm the only. It looks like I'm the only one that's festive. So,
Hi.
And I do know CBC is wearing my shirt from when I did the Skin-a-thon back in July. I know MissNightAngelx is wearing my shirt that I just created just recently for our mental health collection.
My shirt was dirty.
It's all right. I didn't tell anybody they had to wear shit, by the way. I just said, hey, we're gonna just do an interview, sit down. So.
I wouldn't be wearing clothes. It's too hot for clothes, but I have to.
Well, I mean, yes, for Twitch, you do have to, for sure. Yes. There's a TOS for your channel. There's a TOS for my channel. And there's a TOS for YouTube that's live. So, y'all, thank you. Seriously, so much. So we are live in Discord. We're going to be sitting here bullshitting for a little bit. Same here. Close. Ew. Yeah, you're Madam J. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
So here's what we're gonna do before we even get started. I know I'm gonna be on the hot seat. Anybody that wants to give out bits, we're doing a Bit-a-Thon, so we're giving away skins. We'll do that after the fact. If we reach another goal, we'll give away all that kind of stuff after the interview. We're gonna sit here for about maybe hour, 2 hours, give or take, to record something for YouTube. And for everybody that's catching this on YouTube, thank you so much. Everybody that's here, that's guests and decided to come and join me, I love you. Thank you so much. Everybody that's live in chat, feel free to ask any questions you want. These three have been just guided. I haven't told them anything, what to ask, how to ask it, whatever, all that kind of stuff. I just said, hey, this is what I need, this is what I would like. Do whatever you need to do. And then only thing I asked differently was for Nick, that's sitting right next to me here, to do a lightning round at the end. I don't know any of the questions as well. Then we'll end that at the about 2 hour mark. We'll cut the feed for YouTube, and then we'll just sit here and bullshit just for those that are here live to give you a little bit extra of something because you're here live, and that's what we try to do. So before we even get any questions, I already told them I'm going to ask questions as well. So they have no idea how I'm going to ask questions. But let's go around the table here and introduce everybody. Let's start on my left side. Nick, you want to introduce yourself? Tell me just a tiny bit about yourselves. And
I'm Nicole. I'm from Queensland, Australia. I also go by MissNightAngelx, and I've been streaming for 4 years as well. I celebrated my 4-year anniversary in October.
She
actually
did. Crazy.
And I also have a 60-year-old crazy little girl that you'll probably see running in and out every now and then because she's still here.
She's still
she
here.
goes to her dad's today. So.
All right, let's jump above like the Brady Bunch video here, and we'll go to CBC right above.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's CBC. I'm from Canada. Yeah, that's I'm kind of really vanilla, basic like that.
All right, so then if you're just vanilla, let me push you a little bit to give you more information of you. Yes, you're a streamer. Yes, you're from Canada. I'm guessing you're married, right?
Yes, I still
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Still.
he's like, so far, yes. That I remember for now, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully your wife don't see this one. I'll tell you this much right now.
We're good.
And then also there's a lot of cool things behind you too. So tell us your collection and what your.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
I was a pretty avid Funko Pop collector. I really enjoy Snorlax as well. You can see in my room here. And I run a sticker printing hustle. So
yes.
Yeah, actually that's a little bit more about myself.
There you go. And before you jump on to that, promote your sticker company, because we all know that. No.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, so the company's called Stickies. And those who know me personally, my last name is Yeez, so it kind of like literally sticks together. Something I started with my sister. She was interested in drawing, and I have a copy and print background with staples, and I really enjoyed the production aspect of it. So I've found a way to make stickers, and I really enjoy producing things for other people. And if you have like an emote or an idea that you want to put into print into a sticker, I am very interested in doing that and providing that service for you. So just give me a shout, and we'll make something work.
And they're freaking phenomenal, by the way. I have them a lot. Holy shit! Sorry. I have a lot of them on these right here. Design those, and I have other ones that I've given away for Skinathons. So many other streamers that are out there that's done giveaways and all that stuff. And then Ally has stickers for that too. And Madam J did ask. Is everything behind you? Are they all Funkos, or what's other stuff behind you that's not Funkos?
Other things that are behind me. So let's go up here. There's some Pokemon drawings. Those are from my Skinathons for supporters that did not want the drawing mailed to them, so I keep it back here. And then you have all the Snorlaxes here, and then up in this corner you have a Disguised Toast. So it's his plushie. He's probably like the streamer during COVID that I started watching and started getting me into streaming. He loves playing Among Us, so that's kind of what he's known for. And then I don't know what else is like. There's chairs in my room.
There's chairs in my room.
I'm preparing space for
back here, I think somewhere.
I'm preparing space for a 3D printer that I purchased during Black Friday, so that's gonna be pretty exciting. If I can look into that and make some custom stuff, that'd be pretty cool too.
That would be cool. And then do you have Funkos in the containers back there too, or?
I do. So the ones in these containers are the ones I'm looking to sell, and they're on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh.
It's just a place for storage. But I guess if I really go up there, there's another Snorlax peeking out.
Oh yeah, there's a lot up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
So all the ones that are behind you, are those like the ones that you're never gonna sell, or like these are mine, these are whatever?
These are, I'm gonna say these are ones that I won't be selling yet. These are ones like I kind of like. I really enjoy pandas, like Chinese, so naturally like pandas, right? There's Pokemon ones. There's Thor, he's my favorite Avenger. There's Rey Mysterio, my favorite wrestler. And then there's like stuff from like TV shows like The Office, Friends, Big Bang Theory, some Disney stuff as well, and Groot.
So you literally have Funkos from floor to ceiling in your room.
Yeah,
I mean,
for now.
I mean, I can't say much. I mean, like you look on this side. I mean, like I literally have Yoda stuff from floor to ceiling. So
Mhm.
there's no judgment there for sure for everybody. All right,
thank
let's go to the next person. Let's above me, Allie. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and I have some questions for you as well. So go ahead and fill everybody in for like tell me about yourself.
I'm Allie. I stream World of Warcraft mostly. Lately I've been getting into Fall Guys and bunch of other games. I'm a 5 years Twitch affiliate. I started streaming back in 2019, and then I quit for a year, and then I went back in 2020, and then I worked toward my Captain TV affiliate, and I got that, and I have a couple skins out, and working toward the third one, and yeah, that's pretty much what I do. My main game is WoW, but I also like to play other games like Fall Guys and maybe sometimes, like whenever we can, Mario Party coming up, Mario Party, any other Switch games, I have, but yeah, that's what I like to do. I was streaming earlier and rated in, obviously, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And for those that are new to the YouTube channel or firstly seeing this, introductions for all three of you. I'm going to say something about Nick, and then I'm going to ask a question to Allie because I know Nick's intro was a little bit shorter. And I know we're going to talk about this in the interview because we're doing something together. But is there something coming up for you in the next month or so that we didn't mention?
I forgot to mention that.
I'm just saying, is it? I don't know.
We have a podcast coming out called Meaningful Miles, coming out hopefully January, if not February at the latest. But I can't wait. It's a mental health podcast. Absolutely look forward to actually doing it and sitting down and having a chat about mental health, because mental health means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to you. So yeah. That is definitely true, for sure. It's something we've been working on for quite a while, by the way, and I know we're getting into this a little bit during the sit down, but I just wanted to throw that out there because that's something that's near to dear to all of our hearts. But she cuts herself short about talking about herself, so I'm one of those people that like to bring everybody back in. And Allie, what the hell is behind you on the wall? Did you talk about what is on your wall there? I didn't know. I have no idea.
All my ghost shit.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, for those that are looking at that and I don't know what that is.
This is a poster.
Oh no shit!
From a concert that I went to in 2018. It was on Halloween. It's dedicated to so it's right here in honor of Jeffrey Fortune. Fortune. He passed away at a concert that we went to in the first concert that I went to, my first Ghost concert, and that was, I don't remember, what was that, in July?
It was 6 months before that.
Oh, okay, 6 months before that.
Okay, so you died before the concert.
We went to that concert, and the concert got obviously, interrupted because he had a heart attack and passed away.
Wait, hold on.
He had a heart attack at the concert during actually intermission.
Holy crap. Okay.
Right when they went to intermission, and we know it's funny, is that the song they sang right before that happened is called "Don't Forget About Your Friend Death."
Oh damn.
And he had a heart attack and died right
My
after that.
God.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the lyrics is "Don't you forget about your friend Death," and then he had a heart attack and died.
Holy fuck.
So, when he passed away, and then obviously they cut the concert. They brought back the concert on Halloween on Halloween night and tributed it to him, and everything that was bought there, like posters, T-shirts, everything, all the money went toward to that guy's family.
Damn.
To support, because he passed away, obviously. So yeah, so that's what this poster is.
That's
so
cool.
this is dedicated to him. And then I have another poster I got recently from Rock America. Rock America is a lot of ghost stuff. I go there a lot. I got the sweater there. I got my jacket. I have a jacket, a coat from there. This is my TwitchCon. Obviously, this is my TwitchCon tag with the Garfield's pin here. And
That's
the
cool.
TwitchCon pins, and then up here, I have. You see that hat that's above the ghost? That's Bass 50's hat.
Oh yeah.
And Bass 50. Yeah, and that's his hat. We got that long time ago.
That's cool.
And it's the Bass Lurk hat. So that's that's the main that we like to keep that up there. Otherwise, I'm just like a major ghosty, so that's the reason why you see all the ghost stuff. I'm always wearing ghosts.
No, that's cool.
I'm always wearing shirts or T-shirts or coats or whatever. But yeah, it's major band of mine that I enjoy. So
Like I don't mind. I don't mind promoting.
That's what this was. This is the tickets right here to the concert we put right here. So you save the tickets. So yeah. So that was all for both concerts.
Oh, that's super dope. Is there and obviously I'm gonna flip a lot of questions back and forth with you guys, but like I'm it's very hard for an interview person that loves to do interviews and a lot of questions, everybody else to sit back and have questions thrown at me. So I might have trouble with that. So if I start turning too many questions to y'all, stop me, because that's exactly what's going to happen. And in the meantime, before we get started with that one, for everybody that, now that we've done all the introductions, everybody knows everybody here. I'll just do a quick one for me real quick here, because this is going to be questions based on like me getting to know me and all that kind of stuff. But I'm also RJ. I've been DJing since I was like 15, a long time ago. Decided to start streaming because of COVID, and needed to get my mic skills a little bit keep it up, and for some reason that's where I'm at right now. That's all I'm going to say, because I know it's going to come out. And before y'all, I know it's going to be in the description below for the YouTube video, but for everybody that's live, there's 3 names right over there: MissNightAngelx, AllyRosePetal, and CBCGwun. Make sure you don't forget to give them a follow. The names the hosts are right there, and then their channels are right below. Pretty much the same spelling, but just throwing that out there as well. So that's kind of where we're at. And for those that, I said this in the beginning, if you don't know what the thing on, if you're looking at the stream on to the right, that's our Bit-a-Thon. If you want to drop bits, all the alerts are still on. Everything's still crazy as much. So if you drop bits, do whatever. I need to give away some stuff at the end. So without further ado, I'll let you guys take it away whatever you want, even though I need to add Quicksilver's 30 bits to manually to that, because I noticed that didn't work. So
Wait, who wants to go first?
To me, like I said, I didn't really actually have any questions. I'm just gonna make them up.
All right, well, I'll ask a question. What are the good and bad things about streaming?
Oh, there's a lot of good and bad. Let's start with the good, because obviously everybody should understand that streaming is one of those things where it can make you happy, make you sad. So I'm going to talk about the happy parts of it. I just added 30 from Quicksilver's or from that Daddy Zaddy's bits, by the way. So if anybody was wondering, I didn't want to forget that. All right, so good things from streaming. I think put aside the money that you invest in for the computer, for the PlayStation, from whatever you're streaming from, Xbox, fucking laptop, whatever you decide to stream from, put aside the money on that kind of stuff. For me, for the good things is just to sit here and just bullshit with people. I'm like exactly like this stream here, to be able to find friends, become friends, find loves of your life, find things that you enjoy your entire life, and just enjoy things. Because I mean, like, the only person on this panel that I have actually met is CBC. And that was because we went to TwitchCon in 2022. To be able to meet people and then all of a sudden like become like literally brothers of each other within like minutes. Like it was literally like we waited an hour and a half for him to get past the train, and then he comes over, sits down, we just sit there and bullshit, and all of a sudden I just knew right off the bat that we were going to be like buds for life. Not that we had everything in common at the time, but for some reason it just was just something I just knew from the beginning. So I think the best things of streaming that I've come across for 4 years is the friendships, just the communications that we've had, the people that are there for when you have breakdowns, because everybody's gonna have issues. We talk about mental health, and we're gonna talk about podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But like, I know I'm going to have issues. I know everybody else is going to have an issue, but to be able to turn to somebody in like a Discord or streaming or in chat or whatever that is, to be able to say, hey, I have this person that's willing to listen to me, and be able to turn my bad day into a good day, no matter what. That's pretty much my favorite part of streaming. No matter if you're a captain, a viewer, or just, somebody that just listens, because there's people out there that turns on the chat that is afraid to talk, but they're listening, and that can make them smile, make them cheery, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's the best part. I'll let you guys answer that here in just a minute too, because I think that's a great idea to spawn everybody. To talk about the negative part of it, that could come in many different ways depending on who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a male, if you're a female, if you are represented in the LGBT community. It doesn't matter if you see yourself as a furry. It doesn't matter. Represent anybody, a fae. I don't give a shit. Just go ahead and think about how you represent yourself, and then realize that the bad part about streaming is a couple things. One, investment. Do you want a new camera? Do you want a new microphone? Do you want a mixing board? Do you want a stream deck? Do you want all this fucking promoted bullshit that's out there to sell you to become a streamer that you may never ever make it? You may never even achieve what your goal, what you want to do, or all that kind of stuff. You're getting pushed to spend more money to stream to make it easier for you, but you may or may not make it to whatever you want to do. Hitting those goals, hitting those numbers, all that shit is fucking the worst part is about streaming. The abuse, the attack, the negative, the stress, the anxiety. I might be naming a shit ton more negatives than positives, but when all those negatives are all those things are on this side, and then you look at that positive that I mentioned earlier, and as long as it outweighs that, I think that's the most important thing to me. When the good outweighs the bad, you're doing well. When the bad starts to outweigh the good, you need to reanalyze what you're looking at and figure out if streaming's for you or if a viewership's for you. And it's either one's okay with that too. So streaming, that's how I see it. I really am curious to reverse it back to y'all on that one. What are your benefits of streaming? We'll go in the same order, by the way. We'll go around the room, like this way, this way, this way, this way, something like that. Yeah. So what is your good thing?
Counterclockwise or clockwise?
Yeah. We'll always start with Nick, and we'll just do it that way, and then we'll go back around like we did, like the intro.
The good is meeting new people, and like especially making a community and making people laugh, and absolutely everything like that. That brings me so much joy, especially when I'm like having a shit day. I press go live, let's go, and it's like I get like brought up like from my little slumber that I'm in. But the bad is the abuse. I will say that it is the abuse and people like coming in and thinking that you're not human because you're sitting in front of a screen. Like that to me, I've gotten a lot of abuse over the last 4 years from streaming, and it's just it really does hurt, and it does impact your mental health. And I find that it's really hard sometimes to get over what people say to you, especially if you have a loving heart and a kind soul. It's kind of like, oh, you're trying to give to everybody, but everybody's like, either, well, not everybody, but some people are just like, oh no, you're in this for like money and stuff. Okay, what money?
Yeah,
What money?
yeah.
Because you don't necessarily always make money. So yeah, I will say that.
All right, best thing for you, CBC, for streaming.
For me, I think it's really getting to talk to people. Even if I don't do like an audio chat, like I think you might be like the only streamer I actually like show up on a voice call or video call,
Yeah.
and I actually talk to someone. But like on my own streams, I usually just talk to chat. Partially because I'm too lazy to actually test the audio and stuff out from Discord. But I think, yeah, the big part is just meeting new people, talking to them, kind of developing a relationship, really. You know, someone will tell you they're having a great day or a bad day. You celebrate the good days, and, you know, you try to work together or just be whatever support they need for them to tell you about a bad day, because it's actually, some people are actually, when they share anything, they're putting themselves in a vulnerable state, right? And to have that trust literally from a stranger that you're just watching from a screen, I think that's already a huge step. And I guess for myself, yeah, I feel like at times, yeah, my wife and I joke about it, like, you know, sometimes I talk too much. So it's a different channel. Instead of talking to her, I can talk to someone else.
It's like you talking to me way too much. Go to chat.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
Go stream. Get an audio system and come back and go watch a show so you can be quiet.
Exactly.
Get that. Allie, what's your favorite? What's your favorite part of streaming? Sorry, no, we'll come back for some.
Well, I enjoy just, you know, interacting with people, and like CBC said, sometimes you need to some days you if like somebody comes to you and say, hey, I had a bad day, I need to talk. I'm willing here to listen, you know, listen to you and help you out. And if you know, like, I'm always that way too. When I'm having a bad day, I'll go to my favorite streamer and say, talk with them, and then they help me out, you know. So it's the communication, the having fun, you know, just chilling and playing games, you know. I mean, like, my chat, to be honest, is not really an active chat, but because mine are based on lurkers, which is fine. I love my lurkers, but, you know, a lot of people pop in, like today. I got 2 surprise raids from Juicy Fruit and Panther Gal, and so I was like, wow, okay. Because a lot of the times I as you see, I am a very anxious person, and I don't like to be on cam a lot, so I'm always hiding. When I'm streaming, I always have the cam off or the mic off, because I'm very shy, I guess. I don't like to show. I don't like to be on cam or be, but I do it for you because, well, I enjoy your company. I enjoy being in your streams, and you're the only person I probably would do it for besides Garfield. If Garfield offered, definitely. But you're very kind-hearted, and I enjoy being around you. And I'm honored to be, I have, you know, like, being a moderator does not mean like, oh my god, you know, I like being your moderator. I do. I really enjoy you, and I enjoy Garfield, and I have other people that I mod for, but, you know, you're my main. Besides you and Garfield are my main that I really care. I mean, like, I love doing Black too, because I mod for him too, but, you know, he's my main. As you can see in my recap, he's the main channel that I'm always in.
No, that's cool.
But like I said, you are always my heart.
So do you think, and then I'll talk to y'all, because I mean, all of you are mods and different channels and stuff like that. Like, and here I go again, interviewing, not letting you guys ask me questions. But like, what do you think is the hardest part about being a mod? And then, what is the easiest part about being a mod?
Well, I'm still technically his mod, but for 10 years, but Boogie298, I've been his mod for 10 years, and the hardest thing about being his mod is that you get a ton of trolls because of YouTube.
Yeah.
But you just learn to just moderate the chat. Like, hey, if you're starting shit, tell them, just first of all, give them a warning or whatever. And if they're still being, bad, then they're like, all right, I'll give you a timeout or whatever. And yeah, so from there on, that's about the easy. But the easiest thing about moderator is just chilling and relaxing and just talking with the streamer. That's about the easiest part, is just chilling, relaxing. The hardest part is, I have to deal with, obviously trolls or bots.
Yeah.
I hate bots. And but but the easiest part is just, I just like just chilling with the person.
Yeah.
And just talking, like you say, bullshitting.
Yeah.
Just hang out, play games.
Yeah. CBC, do you moderate any new channels?
No, actually.
No,
I only moderate for you.
Except for me, I guess.
I think I'm Proto's one of Proto's mods, but
yeah,
he hasn't streamed in ages, and I think since he's moved, the timing hasn't really worked out when he does stream. I'm not able to be there.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's just you.
Well, I'll take it. So what is what is the hardest thing about being a moderator then? Because I know, like, right now it's super easy, but I'm like, what is the like? Because I mean, you planned it out so you guys didn't have to do shit tonight. So, like,
also, I wanted to mention this is another thing that's the hardest thing about being a moderator is when the people that you moderate for stream at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So like, say like you were on,
and
Garfield was on, and Jewel was on,
yeah.
and Butterfly was on,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god, there's too many people.
Yeah, Quicksilver says Skin-a-thon is the hardest.
Just
Yeah,
two, maybe three, and then you're like, oh my god, that's hard. To keep an eye on 5 chats at once.
Oh yeah.
I feel like being a mod, like, the only experience is really here. I feel like it's been pretty easy. It hasn't been really hard. I feel like at the Skin-a-thon, for example, for me, I felt it was pretty easy because I was kind of tracking my own thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tracker that you built, for God's sake. Yeah. You knew how it worked.
Yeah, like I feel like having the other mods around doing the other things, like, keeping chat in check, or making sure this has been gifted or dealt with, like, I think that's hard to coordinate, but once you have it coordinated, it's very smooth, and everyone, like, oh, I'm gonna be away for the next couple hours or whatever, and someone will step in. I think that's something, like, that teamwork is something I really enjoy. So in all my limited modding experience, it's been great.
That's good.
And I hope it keeps going that way.
And somehow we ended up going the opposite direction, but we'll go back again. Nick.
I mod for like 7 people, and usually they're always online when I'm online streaming. So it's really hard to monitor the chat. It's like I need another screen.
That's hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah. For
sure. But I enjoy it, especially if we all work as a team. Like, if I needed to ask Ally a question about something that, like, about something in chat, I'll just send Ally a message and be like, hey, you have more knowledge of this than I do, so hey, can you help me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that great at it.
I'm willing. I'm always willing to help. You know that.
I in reality, though, I think if you're a mod for a while and you understand, like, what to do, and like the like say like commands and like how things work and all that kind of stuff. Super fucking easy once you know how to do that. But like and I'll use Gunshy. I saw Gunshy in here, like brand new to like moderating channels and stuff like that. How to do like how to learn all the commands, how to things that work. Is it better to do the commands in chat, or can you just log into like Nightbot or whatever the bot that you use, no matter if it's Stream Elements, Streamlabs, or whatever the hell you decide to use, to go to their website and build it there? Like what is easier, what is better, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's the things that you got to remember as being a brand new mod. So I mean, like if you're like getting to know yourself and getting to understand the streamer and what they want, I think that's the first part. I mean, like, yeah. I'm not going to pick just like somebody's like, hey, I'll be your mod. I'm not going to pick somebody. I'm like, they better be active in channel. They better be wanting to be here. They want to be around. Hey, will you be willing to do this? Will you be willing to do that? And they're like, yep, I'll be willing to do that. Then yeah, if I trust them enough, then they'll become a mod. But if they're not, if they're brand new and they kind of like want to do that, I'm sorry, that's not for you. Like not in my channel yet.
Or the ones that turn out to be stalkers.
Yeah. I've been there. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to talk about that. But we'll move on. All right.
I can also add what you said. You said about knowing the channel and getting to know the streamer and like you just pay attention to like say like they're switching games, or you're like, oh hey, you're still in the blah 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 category even though you're playing this, or say, oh hey, you're on the wrong scene, or if you get a raid and immediately shout out somebody,
or a dummy like me that keeps myself muted or keep my echo on or something like that. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, when you say, hey, you're muted.
Yeah, you can't be too scared to actually say something to the streamer. If you're too scared to actually say something to the streamer, it's just not going to work.
Right. Yeah. If you're too scared to say something, then you're not really mod.
That's the reason why I love Moldog as my mod, because I just say something or someone says something in chat and it's there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm like, damn it. That happened like 2 seconds ago.
All right. We'll move on to the next question. What do you got? Anybody else?
Does anybody want just go taking turns?
CBC? You got all the questions.
All right. All right. So yeah. So some viewers might not know, but you have twin boys.
I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess this is kind of semi like streaming related, but how do you coordinate your streaming schedule with her and the boys?
The biggest thing is that there has to be a mutual agreement with people in your house. Like family wise, kid wise, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Before I started streaming in 2020, there was an agreement that I would not stream unless specially scheduled or planned out ahead of time, before the kids went to bed. So 90% of the time you'll see all my streams happen at like 10 p.m. Central, because the kids go out down at 8. They're usually hopefully asleep. We'll just put asterisks on there. Hopefully they're asleep by 8:30. And then I stream until whenever, because I'm an overnight person, so that works out. When I go days, unfortunately, I'll be on days for about a month or so, and then another month for training. Then I'll go back to nights. During that time, it's going to be a lot harder, because it'll be like shorter streams, like 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then I can, put them back to bed, get them to sleep, and all that kind of stuff. I also need time. Yeah, you need to plan all that. So if you can, if you're alone and you're in your house or whatever like that, super easy. You can just go whenever you want, like whatever. Use like Nick an example. She has a kid that she balances. There has to be time where you decide to go, okay, tonight I'm not going to stream. We're going to watch TV shows, or we're going to hang out, or just spend some time together. Or kid goes away for the weekend. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want, kind of thing. I can stream late. I can not do whatever. I can do all that kind of stuff. But when like you have somebody in the house all the time, no matter if it's a significant other, if it's kids, or if you have like I don't know, like somebody that's living in their house that's like still family but not blood, you balance that. You figure out the time. So it's not easy. It's going to be even harder when I go days to try to figure all that out. And yeah, it's just communication. You probably might hear me say that a lot, but communication is the key to making things work and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it is.
I guess
It's not easy to balance all the time.
No, it's
Not
not.
easy.
No,
It's
not
a
at all.
pain in the ass. That's what it is.
Yeah.
How do you guys balance your stuff? Like I understand. I just use Nick as an example. I know. Luckily, Allie, I know has a boyfriend. I know CBC is married. How do you guys balance your stuff? And we'll go back around the way we kind of started with Nick going first, and then we'll kind of go around.
I only do it that if my daughter says I don't want to stream, like I don't want you to stream, I don't stream. If my friend's being like, I had a shit day, I'm coming over. I'm like, sometimes I actually forget to alert Discord that I'm not streaming because my friend got me drunk before before I had a chance.
Now, am I the only one out of all three of you that has like a schedule? Like kind of like schedules it out. You guys just go live whenever the fuck you feel like it.
See,
I don't have a schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
I usually just
I
stream
just do
every
whenever
day.
I feel like it.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure because I feel like that's how my communication is. Like, look, I have a whole monthly calendar. Like, this is what it is. So fuck y'all. This is the time I'm doing
You
this.
have it all set up. To me, it's just like,
yeah.
okay, whatever.
Well, your calendar also puts in when I can't stream because that's when we're working on the Meaningful Miles. So it's kind of like, oh, I'm not streaming this day. Now it's gaining a little bit more structure, but usually I stream every day.
Yeah. You do.
Like anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then I go to bed and wake up and do it again. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you definitely got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't do it more than that.
No.
I was lucky to do it 6 hours.
Well, when I did the 16-hour stream, I was wondering what the fuck was wrong with myself because holy crap.
Oh,
That was a long
like
stream.
8 hours once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you how do you do yours, Steve?
I basically it was always different. I think like when I started during COVID, we were always home and it was just easy to kind of manage work during the day, and then nighttime was just stream, and that's when I like streamed till early morning because then I could just go to sleep and just wake up, go straight back to work.
Yeah.
But then now that we're kind of coming out of the pandemic and like there's different return to office mandates, it's been harder to find a consistent schedule, and because we're commuting, it takes like a toll in terms of the commute and the energy level is not quite there. But also making sure that balance with my wife and like she's okay with me showing up on stream. It's definitely hard, but it's hard to be consistent these days, I find. Yeah, especially like real life stuff happening. Like my parents are getting older, so sometimes I feel like the need to go over and check up on them too. So yeah.
Do you live like most of your family live close to you then?
Yep. My parents live about 20 minutes car ride. Yeah, so we go back for dinner sometimes, and yeah.
And is that and I don't getting back and asking questions again. So the rest of your family, they live obviously somewhere else. Where do you...
my sisters, two of my sisters live with my parents still, and my oldest sister actually moved out 20 minutes the other direction. So if I have to go to her place, it's about 40 minutes, and that's usually okay too because that's kind of near where I used to live when I first moved out. So yeah, it's pretty convenient.
And you were gone for like a whole month. What did you go out there for?
I went on vacation. Yeah, I went on vacation to Asia. Went to like 7 different countries, and
that sounds like fun.
yeah. But I think a big thing was like I really missed streaming, but at the same time, it was good to like not be on stream. Just kind of enjoy myself and spend time with my wife, and just kind of forget everything back home. And it totally hits when you come back home and like I did not remember how to use a mouse and keyboard. Yeah. Or even like coming back to like look at the settings in OBS. It's like weird.
I was like that when I had like 2 weeks off stream, and I was like, I came back. I'm like, what are the apps do I have to open before I start stream?
Yeah, exactly.
RJ is the one that got me into OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember using the shitty Twitch streaming thing, whatever it was, and I got so used to using that. And then when he told me about the OBS, I was like, huh?
No, there's no way.
And then immediately he explained it to me, and I understood, and now it's easy.
Yeah, once you figure it out, it's not as difficult as it seems until like right off the bat, and then once you get it, you're fine. Okay, next question, because I'm trying to not.
If we want to stay on the family questions first, and then go into the military questions and podcast questions.
However y'all want to do it.
Sure. Yeah,
right.
I can continue with family stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of tagging onto that first question, like how, I know that like other couples who get married and like have kids and life continues, like how they people say you need to still have date nights with your significant other. So do you, for yourself and your wife, do you have like, oh, every 2 weeks on a Friday we're gonna go out for dinner, a movie kind of thing, or like do you have something set, like kind of like a calendar, or is it like sporadic, or like how does that work for you?
Well, I mean, like there's two people I spend a lot of my life with, and that's literally Nick and Jess, which is my wife. We try to balance each other because we have different worlds that we live in and stuff like that. So, like, I try to schedule out, like we talk about doing a podcast, but we put a podcast together, so then me and Nick can actually sit there and just bullshit and just have a little bit of fun, just kind of like live life the way like two people should be. And then like me and Jess try to do what we can to balance, because I mean with kids and work, sorry, I just caught a shiny, by the way, and I know Nick's not gonna like that, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. Get a drink. So now I got 4, she's got 3, by the way. So and we were in competition like crazy every time that pops up. For everybody that's here, we catch Pokemon on the channel, and now I'm 1 ahead, so it's gonna be that's awesome. Oh my god, live on chat with her in channel while we're doing this. But it's more of just, again, it comes down to communication, because we'll probably get into this a little bit, but I run like 3 jobs. I run 2 podcasts now, and now I'm trying to balance all that. I've had a lot of conversations about burning candles at multiple ends, and the phrase goes, I'm burning the candle at both ends, but I feel like my candle has like 5 wicks and they're all lit, and they're trying to like push each other to try to figure out which one's the most important. So as long as you communicate, as long as at the end of the day you take, a breather, and you just like take your chance to this, like, and Madam J is like that too, is like you gotta make sure you don't get burned out, and make sure you have fun doing it. I'm at work. Luckily, my job at work is pretty simple right now. I'm going to a new job that it's about the same, but it does take a little bit more effort in the 12 hours I'm going to be there. There's going to be like 3.5 to 4 hours of work that needs to be done, and then the rest of it's kind of sitting around because other people rotate in. Alarm station is what we're going to call it. I'll just leave it at that. But in that instance, in that time frame, I take my moment at work. A lot of people can't do that, but I take my breather at work. I might watch a TV show. Hey, there's Moldog. I just you just got to take that moment for yourself, and then you're balanced, no matter if it's with your significant other, with other people that you spend the rest of your life with, and or love and adore. But you have to just make sure that you balance that and you communicate it. Like, you have to be on the same page. Like, if you want to do something, the other person doesn't, then it's going to be a problem. If the other person wants to do something you don't, again, the same problem. But as long as all of them are there, then you're trying to figure it all out together, and you don't like pull when they need to pull, or you push when they need to push. And I think at the end of the day, you just happiness needs to happen. So that kind of thing. So the balance is there. Not easy, but it's there. So anyway. All right. Anything else that I need to add to that one? Is that right? Is that good?
I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway. All
right. If we're continuing a family, I guess. What are 3 things that you've come to learn about yourself, as you watch your boys grow?
I'll give you my technique now. They're almost 9. To regulate myself and them, I've come up with something recently. There's always like, 3 strikes, then your problem, and all that kind of stuff. I made it differently, where it's like, I tell them, because no matter how old somebody is, no matter whatever age there is, even my age sometimes, listening is the hardest part. So with kids, your first mark is listening. The second one is learning. And the third one is either respect or disrespect. So for them, I say, did you listen? No. Did you learn it? no, and then you automatically disrespect. And if anybody knows me, the worst thing in my life is disrespect. I fucking hate it. Like, you can respect people no matter if you're at a grocery store or fucking mowing lawn or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. You made it. You need to respect people. So I try to teach them, listen, learn, respect. And then if I can do that, that's the same thing as me. Am I listening to them? Am I learning from them? And am I respecting them? Am I jumping, yelling at them at first? Like, the first thing I hear, am I yelling at them? My biggest thing, like, all that stuff. So in that encompass, the one thing, try not to yell based on those three things. Because I have a short trigger sometimes. Because, again, we talked about burning the candle at both ends, or all ends. I can be really snappy and really quick to judge, and I do that often.
Kids can really take a toll on you, though. They push you. They can push your buttons that you didn't even think they were there. I know my daughter does, and she does it in the most inconvenient moments, and it's like, I can't yell at you right now, but I really want to.
Yeah.
And like yesterday, I turned around and was like, go to your room. Like, just go to your room. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Because I was pissed.
Yeah, we talked about the Bluey episode. There's a Bluey episode up there that the mom is like, I just need 20 minutes. I just need 20 minutes. And that one's a great episode if you've never seen that one. That just tells you that you need to take time for yourself no matter what's going on. That 20 minutes could make or break you in a day. And if you can't take, and I sometimes I take 5 minutes in the bathroom. I'll sit down and it's like, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't need to go to the bathroom. I just go sit for a minute. Like, they don't need to know if I'm actually doing what I'm doing, whatever. But 5 minutes of quiet, you know what I'm saying?
I don't really get that unless I like ask somebody, because I'm a single mom and I'm doing it all alone, apart from one week, like every fortnight. So it's kind of like I get a whole weekend, and then on Sunday I finally just like relaxed, and then she comes home and I'm like, crap, back to being mum mode. But at least it's school holidays, so I don't have to go to bed early.
Yeah.
None of this at like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock crap that's been going on.
But for you, the 5 minutes could be, oh, she's finally asleep, and let me go take a breather or something like that. Like, because I mean, there's plenty of times
that was last night. To be fair, I relaxed so much after she went to bed. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I can breathe. And then she didn't wake up until like 8 o'clock this morning, and I'm like, that's even better.
Nice. Let's see here. Eeyore says, kids are unfortunately designed to push those buttons. My youngest does it all the time, and they're teenagers now as well as my wonderful, annoying adult college daughter. Yeah, exactly. Like, they will push their buttons to the end of your life, because your expectations, and this is my second one that you said 3. I'm not sure if I'll come up with 3, but this one is the second one at least. Is your manage your expectations. I've noticed through my expectations of what I want to do for streaming, with life, for podcasting, for military, through anything that I do, I got to manage my expectations. You can't, like, you want to shoot for the moon or whatever like that, but understand you're not going to get to the moon the first time. And if you do, good luck. I mean, like, more power to you. If you do that, fucking phenomenal. But manage your expectations, and you do that with not just me, but with the kids and all that kind of stuff. You got to understand that, hey, something might not be right. I might say, hey, I want to do this. And we're talking about scheduling earlier. You want to do this, and you plan this, and you're looking forward to this. Then all of a sudden you get sick and you can't do any of it. Like, it just happens to be that way. So I'm like, you have to manage your expectations. And there's times where, like, my kids will get sick. And the biggest ones that I've learned is like, hey, I have to work tomorrow, or I have to work tonight, or tomorrow night. It's a 12-hour shift. I only get like 6 hours of sleep. I got to get ready and get there and drive home or whatever. And you got to manage all that. But then they can't even go to school because they're sick. And in our school, it's like, you go into school, you have a freaking fever. Guess what? You're out for almost 2 days. You're out for that day, and you're out for the next day. And then you need to prove that your fever is gone. So you have to, all that stuff. Annie says, expectations, life, like much of life, can be on a spectrum. You have to allow yourself to be fluid sometimes, and allow yourself to flow like water as the reality ebbs and flows against those expectations. You're right. And that's the hardest. I think those two are the biggest ones for me. The expectations, that's the balance from like being a parent to that instance. So Two's fine. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure, there's another one somewhere, but that's all I got for now. Not knowing the questions, not thinking about the answers. Yeah, that's about the best I got right out.
Okay. I guess kind of on the other end now. So, what are some things, I guess, let's say 2 things that you wish you were taught as a kid now that you have your own kids?
Oh fuck.
That's a hated question.
It is, because I mean, life is different. Like,
See,
because
CBC has all these good questions. You're on like, what the hell do I ask?
It's a different world now, because like when I grew up, there was no cell phones,
Right.
there was no internet, there was all that kind of stuff, and all we
Yeah,
did,
that's what I say.
yeah, like I grew up on a farm the first like 6 years of my life. So literally it was Days of Our Lives. It was
Hell yeah.
it was Price is Right, or
Balls on
outside
Crate.
playing, yeah, or and then playing outside for all that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
I grew up on PBS.
Yeah, so I mean, so learning something when I was a kid versus trying to teach my kids now, and I think the only thing I can really truly come up with is, and everybody's different, of course, is be there for your kids, because throughout my entire life, there was a lot of arguments through mom and dad, then divorce, and then trying to balance the blame yourself. You know, that happens all the time during divorce. You kind of like, oh, was it my fault, kind of thing like that. I never really truly hit that part where I blamed myself for divorce, but I also had trouble managing my emotions during it all. So I look at it as in like, all right, man and Jay, have a good night. I appreciate it. I think
Good night, Madam MJ.
I think as a kid versus parent versus my kids, the compass at all is try to figure out how to be a better parent than my parents were to me, and to teach something to myself when I was little to what I'm trying to teach my kids now. Thank you so much for the shout out for Madam J. Thank you so much. I think the biggest thing is just listen, because when I was a kid, I didn't listen very much. My kids don't listen to me very much, and that cycle needs to be broken, and we need to figure out how to do that. And the animosity I see from like other people and their parents, and the same thing with mine to my parents, I hope that I can teach them not to have that with me. And that's not an easy job to do, and I don't know if I'll succeed at that one. But I think that's the thing I need to learn the most, is setting that stage where I may not like my parents some days, but I don't hate them. And there's a lot of people out there that really like, oh, I hate my mom, or I hate my dad, or stuff like that. I hope to God that I teach my kids that not to feel that way when they're younger, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah, no.
That's for sure.
No.
I just went through my dad's 19-year anniversary yesterday, so there was a lot of love-hate there yesterday for me, and my daughter actually picked up on it, and she was like, Mom, why are you so upset but sad, like angry? And I'm like, because I just don't want you to go through what I went through, because I was only 11 when I lost my dad, so it was just kind of like, it was kick after kick after kick, and I don't have much of my family left, so it was like, it's mainly my mum, and I was just like, I don't want you to go through thinking that people don't love you.
Yeah.
Because unexpected things happen all the time, but everyone loves you greatly, even if they can't be there every single day.
Yeah. And I think
And that's
Yeah,
the hardest thing too.
yeah.
Don't want to cut off on there, but I am totally agree with you about that, Nick. I went through a lot of death in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I lost my parents. I lost all my family. I lost my brother-in-law 3 years ago. And it's hard. I'm still grieving. My sister's still grieving. We're still grieving. But yeah, I know how it is to. That's why I absolutely hate January. January is my parents' death anniversaries, both of them. 2007, 2009. So, and also my brother-in-law's birthday is in January. So yeah, January's hard for me, but
Yeah.
we get through it. My sister's right there. Like I said, yeah, but yeah, I know how it is when you miss your dad. I know how it is. You wish that your dad or your mom was, if you're really close to your mom or you're really close to your dad. You know, when losing them is hard. Especially my dad. My dad was the best. So best dad.
So speaking of kids, like CVC, like I don't want to push this question, but like, do you see yourself having kids someday?
Oh yeah, I think even growing up, I already saw myself like being a future father figure. So
Yeah.
yeah, we are working towards it, and it's hopefully just a matter of time. So yeah. Fingers crossed.
So what do you think?
No.
So in the question you asked, like, what do you think? Like, what do you think that you've learned in back of your day that may have may want to influence your future and your kids in?
I think just better versions of myself. Yeah, like I know I guess for my upbringing it's and my cultural background, I'm pretty sure it's most people regardless of culture backgrounds and whatnot.
Yeah.
You always want the best for your own kids, right? And whether it's trying to support them however we can, but at the same time like have them become independent to support themselves. And as long as they're happy and healthy, I think that's I've kind of done my job. And icing on the cake is if life has it that they can support me in my old age, to whatever capabilities that they can. I'll be even more appreciative, but it's not something I expect. Yeah, I think it's just having them contribute to society, being better versions of me and my wife, and yeah, I think that's all I could try to instill upon them.
So me knowing you as well as I think I do, what would be one thing that you would see that would be better than you? Like you're saying better than you all. Like what would you teach them that you're to do more than what you are already doing?
That's kind of wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I feel like
all right, Annie, have a good night.
It could be going both ways. I think this answer kind of works both. I think for them to be able to be charitable, whether it's their time or money, and it's not like sure towards charity to those in need, the hungry, the homeless, those who need shelter. Well, I guess that is homeless, but like just helping those in need, but also at the same time know your own limits and make sure you take care of yourself first. Yeah, I think that's probably the one thing I really want them to do more of, but also take care of others, but also take care of themselves. But find that balance.
Yeah. And with the balance, like where you did, like, did you, and maybe we need to sit down and have an interview with you. Cause I mean, you've been on, like, there's two of you that we haven't sat down with and actually like did a one-on-one with yet. So, I mean, like there's probably a lot of questions, but like did you go to college?
I guess so. It's literally something at Langara College, but it's like it's post-secondary that it's kind of like the middle step into university. Yeah, so but it's still seen as a university.
Okay. So then like the degree that you got, is it like more like associates or is it more like an actual degree?
It's a diploma, and they call I got a diploma in human kinetics. So that's more like kinesiology, sports related. Yeah. And
is that what you use now in your everyday?
Oh no, not at all.
I was like, that's the reason I was saying, because I mean, like, how many people actually go to college and get a degree or
not at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
I took human kinetics because I wanted to be a phys ed teacher. I really enjoyed sports, and like playing sports, watching sports, just talking sports. But then my grades weren't good enough to get into the university level to become a phys ed teacher.
Yeah.
And then that kind of just transpired into now, instead of pushing weights, I push paper.
Yeah, I get that.
and I deal with like stickers, and I work for the government, so just like in an administrative role.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, do one
No,
more.
you could have asked me about kids. Me is absolutely no.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, I don't take this the wrong way.
Absolutely.
Don't take this the wrong way. I didn't ask the question because I already knew the answer.
I'm 43. I have a bad chronic illness.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle pregnancy.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think I could either, to be honest with you. Let's be honest. There's no fucking like.
Yeah, that's a definitely no for me.
No. All right, let's do one more family one if you got, and then we'll move on because
Sure,
I mean
yeah.
we got about an hour left for the YouTube channel. So.
Oh, okay. I guess I have. Well, one could be really quick, or because I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Are your twins identical?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you tell them apart? Like when you first had them.
So when we first had them, so yeah, they're very identical. You can tell now, like obviously after 9 years, you can see different things. One's a little longer face, one's a little bit wider face. So you can kind of tell. Or if you're not really paying attention, the way they talk and the way they act, you can definitely tell right off the bat. What we did is one of my kids starts with an A, one of the kids start with a B. We put the B in more blues, blacks, and browns, and the rest, and the A wore every other color.
Okay.
So that helped a little bit. During teething, they make teething necklaces, which is actually a godsend if people are like, those
The
don't.
amber necklaces are the
Yes.
best thing in the
People, people say they don't work, but they fucking work. You
They
can
do.
definitely tell. So majority of their life, their first 5-6 years or whatever, like that, they had a different necklace on. So like quick glance or whatever like that. For some reason, they, as they're like, they showered or whatever like that, or ran around. Obviously during potty train, a lot of them are naked, so they know not to pee, or they're not like a dog. They don't pee on the floor, but they'll run to the bathroom when they're naked. But when they're wearing clothes, they love to pee and shit themselves when they're younger. So the potty training. So if they're both naked, they're both wearing those necklaces, and you can tell right off the bat. So those kind of things. Now, yes, you can tell, but like in school wise, a lot of them like learning them every year. They're brand new, so they can't really tell right off the bat. A lot of them can tell like or halfway through the school year. A lot of them can tell right off the bat just because of their actions and where they're at. But at a quick glance, obviously the B is in blue shoes and the A is in green shoes. So, and that's their favorite colors. So they don't want to switch them. So that's how they can tell them apart
Right.
for that. So,
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Alright.
Okay.
Let's get into some military
Yeah.
questions.
Alright.
What made you join the military?
I hated fucking college, and I didn't want to go to college, so I wanted to get to do something else.
Did you end up going to college?
I kinda.
What kind of military were you more interested in?
I'll go into that story here in just a second. Let me answer, and then I'll give you the detail. I know that's a joke, but it's kind of true too. When I was ending high school, I tried to join before I turned 18, before I even graduated high school, and I couldn't because obviously you need both signatures. And at that time, my both parents were divorced. One of them was in North Carolina. One of them was with me. Couldn't do it, so I had to wait till I was 18. A lot of truth in I didn't want to do college. I know that they give you free college and all that kind of stuff, but I fucking hated school. Like literally fucking hated school. Did not have the concentration. I did every single sport I could just to stay active and stay with my mind and stay away from the drama at home and all that kind of stuff. But I did everything I could. I joined because because I noticed, and I don't know if you all can see this when you see these things and whatever, because I had this weird superpower when I was little, is just seeing future and seeing like how people lived and how I wanted to live. Is that I saw a grandma that didn't plan for a future. I saw my mom didn't really plan for a future, and my father didn't really plan for a future. They'll be working for the rest of their lives. At some point, they might be retired, but at some point, they just didn't really plan very well. So I knew if I joined the military and I stayed for 20 years, I could get some type of retirement check. And when you look at other jobs in the world, how many times can you pick a job that you can work 20 years and then get paid for the rest of your life? And that was a couple of those reasons why I planned for that. Obviously, things changed as went. That's why I raised my hand and was like, yeah, I want to do this because I want to have a future in the future. But like in April, this airs right now, by the way. We're doing the interview on December 12th of 2024. So I don't know how long this is going to last, but in April of 2025 will be 27 years. I still got a couple more years left because I just took a new job. But things change. Like, as I stay in longer, it isn't just about the paycheck. It's about the people. It's about the difference that I can make. It's about putting forth the effort of how I can help people and how I can train people and how I can put my experience to other people and making their careers better in the future and stuff like that. So things do change, but that's the reason why I joined on that one. When I first joined, to go back to Ally's question, I joined to put bombs on planes. I love the F-16. At our base, we had F-16s at the time. I could literally be a mechanic kind of thing and grab bombs, put them on planes, and let them do their thing. And that's why I joined. But lo and behold, our base, along with multiple bases in the United States, decided that the fighter wing needed to be reduced. There was more interest in planes that refuel planes up in the sky. So big planes carry a lot of fuel, go in the sky, plane comes up, that fuels it to stay in the sky longer. It can fuel the plane while it's flying, which is pretty fucking cool in itself when you look it up. And then you detach, and then they can stay in the air longer. So if something happens, that's what it is. So our base decided that we're going to get rid of the fighter wing and we're going to go refueling wing. And I had two choices. I had and I had a bonus at the time when I joined because it was a field that really needed people, and they gave a little bit of bonus to sign. They said two things. Either you have to move with the job and go to a different base that has that one, or find a career that has the bonus when you get fired kind of thing, when the job disintegrates, and or pay back the bonus. And 18 years old, I'm fucking dumb. I spent all that fucking money on stupid shit that I have no idea where the fuck it went to this day. So paying it back was not going to be an option. So I had to find a job. So at the time, I think it was stay in that career and move, go be a cop, or go be a cook. And when I say cook, that's how I just knew it at the time. Learned way more what services did at the time. So I decided that instead of waiting for that job to disintegrate and hope that there's a position open in one of those two fields, there was already a position in services, which is a lot more than just cooking. But I decided to go in that job, learned way more than what they did. It's like, oh, yeah, I can be a cook for a little while and see what I can come up with. But, in services, they don't not only do cooking, they did mortuary, they did fitness, they did recreation. At that time, they did protocol, which they worked with important people about setting up things and all that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot more. They did honor guard. They did a whole bunch of random shit. And I was like, yeah, I can be a jack of all trades. And to be honest with you, I haven't left that career field until just last month. And I loved it. And I loved the people. And it drove me to stay. So why I joined and whatever. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was great. The people made me stay. The work was, when I say work was shit, it was really shit because you literally were the first people there and the last ones out all the time. Because running DFACs, running food, running all fitness things, you have to be there, get it all set up for people to show up to do it. When they're all done, you have to clean it up, you have to bring it back, run all the paperwork, all that kind of stuff, enter it in systems. There's a lot more to just, let's just go do something fun and come out. But yeah.
I guess that brings up a question that I always wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
When you go on your military, when you say, "Oh, I gotta go to military," blah blah blah, what do you do? I always was curious about what exactly you do.
I'll talk about what I do now versus what I used to do.
What we used to do and what you're going to do.
I know these people. Yeah, exactly. Welcome back. When I go into drill weekend, for the longest time, I ran a DFAC. Basically, I was the DFAC manager. Ordering food, predicting food, coming up with menus, coming up with, the recipe cards, ordering the food, bringing it in, checking it in, all that kind of stuff, teaching people how to make sure that they are serving it correctly. We have to do paperwork to make sure that the temperatures are correctly so no one gets, food poisoning and all that stuff. So running the entire DFAC, serving the amount of people that we do. Obviously there's a lot of numbers and a lot of things I can't, really talk about it. But yeah, just coming in and managing an entire DFAC manager.
Wow, that's awesome.
So did all that. And then since I was in for such a long time, I did that. Then I was a training manager, literally running all the paperwork to train people, making sure that their training records are on there. When they join a career field, they have to do what they call career development courses. So I have to make sure that they're on top of that, getting those done within a certain amount of time. Because if they get past the time, then they can get in trouble. They can get paperwork written because, you're registered into this career field. You have to do this training within a certain amount of time. And if they're not doing that, they can get in trouble, like whatever. So I have to train them, teach them, make sure that they're within that, do all the paperwork for it, all that kind of stuff. I did the unit training manager a number of times. And then the last 4 years or something, I went back into the training manager or back into DFAC to run a DFAC again and teach other people how to do it. Effective as of this month, was the first time in 26 years of my military career that I left services. We have what they call special projects innovation. Our military is pushing what they call an innovation program, which you can come up with ideas, you can inspire other people to do certain things. So for some reason you putting bombs on planes like we were talking about, and you find a more efficient way to do it, you bring that up to your management, you submit this paperwork that says innovation of how to do something better, and if they come up with a way to do it, they implement that procedure or that thing across the entire Air Force, and then you can get credit for it, you can get paid for it, all that stuff. So innovation. So on our side now, I joined the innovation team to put together a Nebraska Air National Guard podcast that will hopefully, we're still developing it, making sure to whatever. So hopefully maybe the first one might debut next month if everything goes well. But if that goes out there, it's going to be basically talk about information around the base. It's going to talk about different topics, interviews of people. Our first couple are going to be about like mentorship and fellowship, like how to like mentor people, how to be better at listening, how to be better at a follower, how to all that kind of stuff. So it's about building that relationship between people that are just joining the military to what we're doing now, to try to interact and try to like communicate, try to make it more better as a unit, and maybe keep people in, maybe inspire people to join, all that kind of stuff. So all those stuff then. So like a lot of things are changing. So I signed a 2-year deal, 2-year contract to develop this. It might stay longer. I might be able to be on there longer. My goal is 30 years. 20 years, you get like a little piece of paper signed by the president that says, "Hey, thank you for your service." At 30 years, you get a plaque that's designed and presented to you basically by, people that can give you that. So, Eeyore was
amazing.
Eeyore was in the military with me. So now I have younger airmen to pester in the DFAC. You and Chief moved now that I gave up weekend. So Eeyore was in the military with me. He retired, and now he's living his life doing his own thing. But like, yeah, it's so crazy. I've seen so many people come and go because I've been in so long that, yeah, to make one
That's amazing.
quick answer to all that stuff. So, all right. Anyway, keep going.
What's the biggest lesson you learned from your service since 1998?
Oh, fuck. So much. One thing, mutual respect. I think the mutual respect about being somebody right next to each other, no matter if you're away from your family, being deployed, because I was deployed 3 times. If you're doing weekends, that I'm sorry, you have an inspection this weekend, but yet your best friend has a wedding. You know, sometimes you just don't you miss things.
Yeah.
Son, you know, birthday, or my birthday, or other people's birthdays, you kind of miss all that. So then in that instance, you just kind of mutual respect to the person next to you, because they might be missing something, or they might be going something, or like all that kind of shit. What's going on? Mutual respect is the biggest one after almost 27 years. Because if you're not mutual respecting the people next to you, especially deployed in a foreign country, you're going to get lost real quick. So that's the easiest answer I got for that one.
How has your experiences in the military shaped your approach to streaming and community building?
Fuck. That's a good one. Ooh. I think
Make a drink.
yeah. I think the biggest thing is probably like it comes down to again, I hate to keep using the same answer, but it's communication. Like how long ago did I say Ally and CBC and Nick, you made a drink. How long have I asked you about this? Was it like almost 2 months ago since I asked about this?
Yeah.
So like if you're not communicating, not just planning and executing an event like this or anything like that, but if you're not communicating with somebody what's going on, I think that's the biggest one right there. Like, and I say like when I just said mutual respect, I have so much mutual respect for other streamers and other people that are in the community that I think that's going to be the, like, what I've learned through military that I bring over to streaming is I mutually respect your time. I mutually respect what you're doing. I understand that how hard a streaming job can be, no matter what it is, and not being judgmental. That's the biggest one. What I'm going to say here is the hardest part, because saying the easy things are easy to talk about, because that's easy. Like I can just say, hey, you know, I respect your time, you know, do whatever. The hardest part that I've learned in life, not just military but here, is jealousy. Jealousy is a bitch, and it can
Yes,
be.
it is.
Don't matter if it's like in real life, it's military, because I mean, obviously somebody, you know, jealousy because someone's getting an award and you're not. You both did the same fucking job, but somebody else is getting their award. You can get jealous and you get mad. In the streaming world, you can get jealous because, you know, you plan an event and you get like 30 people to show up. Somebody does plans an event, which seems at a viewer point of view is way less than the effort that you put in, and they have 160 some people in the channel. Like, it's just something sometimes that hits you, and like the jealousy and something like that just like eats you alive, and that's the hardest one. You got to learn to shelf that shit. And
Jealousy is a killer.
Yeah.
And you need to figure out where the jealousy comes from before you can deal with it.
Yeah.
And I've learned that the hard way over the years.
I think, and I think the other thing too is to throw this out there, is jealousy is like know what you're jealous about, and know how, and then question yourself, is it something that you truly should be jealous about? And if you're wondering what that means, let me explain it to you. Is that, and I'll use let me think. I'll use my first interview as an example. The very first interview that I did when I started this series was DJ Zurich. And DJ is from let me step back for a second. I won't tell you where he's from just yet. But when we talk about him, he puts together computers. He has a really good job. He has to be able to do some stuff that, you know, a lot of us probably can't do. He had this really fucking cool ass chair that he used to sit in, that he'd sit in and his monitors would fucking just come down off this fucking chair, come down in front of him. and he'd stream from it, whatever. And then when he had to go to the bathroom, he did a button. Those
Wow.
fucking monitors would go up. He'd go do it his thing and whatever. It's like it was literally his like streaming chair with his monitors and all that stuff.
The $8,500 chair.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you're kind of jealous to see that, but when I get to talk to him and like the stuff that he goes through in life, and like now that you know all that and like what you could be jealous of, now think about it like this: he's from Lebanon, good dude, fucking phenomenal. Majority of his family's in Lebanon. When you look at the politics and what's going on nowadays and what's going on in the worldwide and what's going on with Lebanon now, are you still jealous? Are you jealous of his chair? Or you feel sympathy because of what his family's going through and his family's getting bombed and all that kind of shit. So like, understand, put it in perspective of what you're jealous about, understand why you're jealous about it, and either figure out, is it something to be jealous about or is it something that you're misunderstanding? Because like, yeah, when I first met him, I was like, damn, that's fucking awesome, man. That's a fucking, I'm jealous that you had that chair, you know, all that kind of stuff and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But then you start realizing what the fuck's going on in life. And you're like, whew, enjoy that fucking chair, man, because you deserve it, kind of thing.
It
You know,
also
like,
comes down to communication too when it comes to jealousy. Like having a conversation with somebody and figuring out like the issue that you're having with it at the time.
Yep.
Because jealousy is a bitch.
Yeah. And when I sit down with you three, like when you're talking about like jealousy, like it might not be something that overpowers you at sometimes, but has it ever hit you to the wrong point where you have to like walk away from streaming for a little bit, or like just like as a viewer, maybe as you're like doing something, did you have to walk away from your computer for a little bit because you realized that it might have sparked something that you're not ready for?
Sometimes.
I think for me, before the pandemic, like I think coming out of high school, I got into this like internet radio gig where we just played like Chinese music and whatnot, and jealousy hit really quick then, and I basically stopped doing that kind of programming for years until streaming came back. So to realize like I need to be able to take criticism and just accept that, you know, you're not always going to be liked, or if you're liked, someone's going to like someone else more than you. And you know, it sucks sometimes. It is a popularity contest, you got to accept that. But I guess in terms of streaming, like I don't think I share this with anyone really, maybe except you, RJ. I think
I'm so glad I could just take it from y'all and just bring it out.
I think something we all have in common is like we've all had that affiliate push or you know, partner push, right? And then when you find a fellow streamer who's making the same push as you, right? You try to coordinate, do all that coordination, and then you know that your partner who is trying to reach the same goal as you reaches it before you do, you kind of be like, oh, like you kind of start questioning yourself, and there is a sense of jealousy, and there are times where like you feel like you kind of either you want to keep pushing and you know you're gonna make it, or you kind of like it's kind of like a downer, right? Because someone else has gotten it before you, even though you start at the same pace and everything. So I've experienced that, and I've taken time off from it before. And it just, you know, it takes, you know, maybe like going outside, touching some grass, talking to my wife and talking to other people and sharing about it, and being ready to come back and perhaps try to push again, or you just kind of you figure out what's going to work for you and why you're doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that at all. I definitely understand that. I mean, a lot of people ask me, but I pretty much ignore the question, but a lot of people are like, why aren't you pushing for partner? I don't give a shit. I like where I am. I don't give a fuck. I mean, like, that's I'm like, you know, if you know, like, right now I really don't care. I'm just doing it for fun. So I don't care about pushing. And like, well, I mean, like, you're like, well, you have affiliate, you can do a partner on CTV. I was like, yeah, but I really don't care, because I mean, a lot of people are pushing that, and I understand that, and I support them. But for me, I'm totally fine where I am.
Mhm.
Like just like for you, when you got it from the Skinathon,
Yeah.
you were just shocked.
Mhm.
Yeah, and to me, I if that happens, that happens. Oh well, I'll be shocked. Well, I'm not going on like crazy and say, oh my god, I'm pushing and I got to push. The only thing I pushed was getting an affiliate. That's all I cared about was getting an affiliate.
Yeah.
All I wanted was affiliate. I didn't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Talking a lot about goals there, Nick. How do you feel about
Yeah.
it? Because I know exactly. Like, tell everybody what you feel about
I
it.
don't get jealous about other people having bigger numbers. Like I get burnt out.
Just like you.
When I've
you're
hit-
still pushing partner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm still pushing it, but
I'm-
I've said multiple times in my stream where it's just like I am content with it, but when you have the numbers for I don't know 5 hours straight, and then you end stream and it's 45.5,
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
What the-
bitch,
Yeah. Fuck that.
and that breaks
I know,
you a
right?
lot.
Yeah.
Like it really does break you a fair bit.
Numbers
And I
suck.
think I rang RJ, and I was just like, he rang me or I rang him, and I turned around
Hey,
and like,
you know,
was
like
in
I'm
tears.
surprised when I get a good amount of people on my stream, and I was like, wow, I'll actually have a good amount of people in here. Because normally I range from 5 to 10. And then, if you get a rate or two, hey, it's nice to have more than that.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And
but it's not like
yeah,
I'm
but
pushing
I
anything else.
Yeah.
I rang RJ in tears, being like, fuck, I feel a little bit burnt out today. Like I just feel broken from it all.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 streams there that I didn't even hit like 25 viewers, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm here to have fun. I'm rocking out like to music. I'm dancing to music. I'm just having a ball. But I've always hit the numbers in stream readers. Like I've never struggled to actually end a battle. It's
Hold on.
always been up to like 100
Hold on a second.
units
Mystic
played.
Majesty YT sent. I don't believe in partner pushes to get partner works in the long term. Otherwise, you're going to have a viewership drop when you do get it. While it's undoubtedly nice to have, being a Twitch partner isn't the ultimate goal that some make it out to be. Shouldn't be stressing over numbers at all. That just messes with your mental health state and leads to burnout.
Yeah. And
That's true.
100%.
And thanks to Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher, to tell us all that, that insight on that too. By the way,
Yeah.
so let's go back to the jealousy part of it, and like, what was one example of jealousy that you had troubles with, and how did you deal with getting away from it? And before you answer that, I'll use mine as an example. I to be honest with you, it's I don't hit jealousy as much as some people do because I don't stream as often as everybody else. To hit certain like streamer goals, to hit like affiliate, to hit like all that kind of stuff, like I don't use that as too much of a jealousy like instance. The jealousy that hit me was I started streaming with another person that I mod for. She mods for me, but she does hardly ever in stream because the way she works and the very rarity that she streams and stuff. She found a community that brings in streamers or brings in viewership. So when she streams a specific game, she has over 100 people in her stream all the time. And I love her to death. I will never talk shit about the way she streams or anything like that because everybody streams differently and all that. But then I look and I'm like, how much effort that I put in like for like trivia before trivia went away. Fuck trivia. God damn it. I miss trivia.
Yeah.
And then for events like this and the interviews and things like that. And sometimes, great. I hit 15 people that make a difference. Sometimes I hit, a higher number or whatever like that. At one point, I was irate as fuck. I was not just jealous, but I was just irate, like of how much effort somebody puts into something, and then that happens. Then at some point, and I, through the discussions with Nick, through the discussions through myself, to self-reflection, I don't know what it was, but there was a switch at some point that goes, you know what? If I put all this effort in and one person is having fun, and they're pulled out of their shitty fucking world that they call themselves. I'm not saying like I don't believe in the shitty world, but if they believe their world is shit and I can pull them out of that and smile and happy and just enjoy themselves for 10 minutes, half hour, whatever it is, then I feel like I've done exactly the point of the reason why I started streaming in the first place. Because putting a smile on your face to be able to, when I started DJing, to entertain people, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm doing, and that's great. And I have to look past those numbers. Is there something that you guys have noticed that you guys have hit that took you a minute to restructure your mind to get away from that jealousy moment?
No, not really.
Good. Like,
I've
Not
had
when it comes to streaming, no.
no?
No, not when it comes to streaming.
because you know I
Streaming,
hang
you
up,
stream
I
at
hang
your own
out in a
pace.
lot of different
Yeah, yeah.
streams,
Yeah.
and especially some streams that are partner people, and especially people that that like I met at TwitchCon, and I met an Eternal Enigma at TwitchCon, and I love his streams. I love his community and everything, but I do have a slight little jealousy, of how blown up he is, and how I wish I had that sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
then again, I'm glad I don't,
Yeah.
cause I'm like, he's just a basic guy, and but he makes a lot of money on Twitch, and sometimes I wish I had that, but then again I'm glad I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can feel what you understand, like where you wish you had that, but then again you don't.
Yeah. What about you, CBC?
I feel like the point that really that struck me that you talked about was the entertainment part, right?
Yeah.
Because that's something you and I have discussed in private. Like the reason why we do it is we're entertainers. We want to entertain people, who are the viewers, and make it interactive, make them laugh, make them smile, and whatever means that is. Like we sing, we dance, like we throw trivia. Sorry, I had to bring trivia up again, but like doing giveaways and all that. I think that's something that helps me remember like why I'm doing it. I know it's also something unique that not everyone does either. Try and be that creative side and like bring something else to the table to step away from that jealousy, right? Like it's so easy to look at a streamer like, oh, they're doing this, I want to copy that, right? And change it to what I have. But what's even, I think next level is like what hasn't been done yet, right?
Yeah.
I want to try that, and if that works and someone, I take a lot of pride when I see an idea I've done. For example, for my Skin-a-thon, someone comes and asks to borrow that idea or
Yeah.
try to modify. I'm like, oh, yo, that's great, like great idea, because I never thought of it that way. Like, if we work together to like improve something, I think that's amazing. Yeah.
I would rather help everybody.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if there was something take from each person's stream and they wanted to bring it together in their own,
Yeah.
help them out, let them get
Yeah.
there. Like make sure that you give the support, because that support is all what we need at the end of the day, and that's what makes streaming unique.
Yeah.
Like if you build that community, you build that friendship, you build the networking.
Yeah, I think like to I really hate this word. I'm going to use it anyway. I don't give a shit. To piggyback off of CBC is that like when you're talking about like when you come up with something and somebody decides that they want to use it. I remember the day that you asked me, and it'll probably be one of those things that I'll remember to the day I die. Is like you're like, so do you really think that doing interviews or talking to other people during a Skin-a-thon is a good idea? And I'm like, well, it kind of depends on the person, and it kind of depends on the conversation and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I guess it depends on the person who you're interviewing.
yeah. So like in or having just a conversation with. I mean, because this was initially, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, this was initially y'all are supposed to be asking me shit, and I I'm having a really tough.
You can't do
I'm
it.
having a
You
tough-
can't do it.
I'm having a tough time just not freaking being that interviewer
you're like,
person.
oh, shit,
It's
oh,
like
You
it's
don't
like
know how many times I was like, oh shit, oh my ass, I was here, I'm freaking out.
yeah.
Thinking, oh shit, it's tomorrow. What do I ask? I keep freaking out, thinking my anxiety. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh my
I heard
God,
you
what
in
do I ask?
stream
What do I ask? What do I ask?
I heard you in stream before RJ started, and I was like sitting there, and I'm like, do I type something and like just give you a few questions to ask? But then I was like, just be on a whim. Like you start feeling comfortable eventually, so you get to ask questions backwards and forwards. And
Professional
that's what makes.
CBC had it all on in a split screen, and I'm like, here I'm like,
Well, that's like, and that just goes to show how different we all are, because like I've been
Well,
doing it.
CBC had his, and then I was working on mine last night, and I was just like, I have them all sitting there, and I'm like, I haven't asked half the questions I was gonna ask. I just asked them outright.
Yeah, just like it just comes about, like it just goes to show how different people are, because like I've been doing this, like I wouldn't say professionally, but I've been doing a lot of this kind of entertainment for a very, very long time. I'm like, and then to go back a little bit and talk about me a little bit, because this is what this point is about, is in 1997, still in school, graduated in 98, by the way, for anybody that wants to put that together. In 97, I was a little bit ahead of myself in high school, because, you know, I just wanted to get shit done and whatever. But, I had like breaks in a specific time frame. Like, okay, we had like this class is here, this class is here, but like I already had credits enough that I didn't need to fill all my day. So we had two options. We could either go take college courses, which not gonna fucking do. But the second one was that you could internship other places and like get the internship at different jobs. And doing karaoke with my dad for when I was like 14 or whatever, I wanted to do that kind of stuff. So my first internship was with Coca-Cola. Wake up early, put fucking stuff on shelves, and fucking possibly have a job. I'm like, oh, I can internship and have a job that pays decent, whatever. And I fucking hated it. Like, wake up at 3:00 in the morning to go get your shit and fucking fuck you. Like, that's not for me. But then after that, I was like, okay, what else can I do after that? And then I reached out to a TV station and a radio station, and literally it was like, oh, can I internship here? The first one was part of the TV station, and it was part of the commercials. I went on locations to watch them film commercials, to understand where the camera is, where the mic is, how to catch this, how to direct this, how to all that stuff. And like, then that was the bug. Like, I never looked back after that. Then I was like, internship at a radio station, and they like brought me on within like the second day of my internship. They host in the morning said, oh, you know, like, we're bringing on new internships, and there was like two of us there or whatever, and they sat down and they're like, oh, tell me about yourself. And I talked about it, and they're like, you know, what made you decide to do this? And I started talking, and like this person, and then when we got done with the segment, they're like, the other person can go and talk to like the sales team and like learn that stuff, but you're gonna sit right here with me this whole fucking shift, and we're gonna piggyback off each other, because they knew that I had this like weird talent of being able to talk. And then like for a whole like a month and a half, my internship wasn't learning commercials. It wasn't. I eventually did, but it wasn't learning commercials. It was me being the like almost a co-host of this radio show.
Wow.
And literally sat down and was like, it was like, oh, and then when we were in the breaks and the music was playing or something like that was getting planned on, I was literally telling them like, well, what about this? What about this? And they're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. And then the next segment was like, we try to do this and try to do that. And it was like back and forth. So it like turned into that. And then within 6 months of my internship, I got hired as a 17-year-old to be on the radio. And like I was the youngest person to hire before they were like, we have a rule that you have to be 18 to be hired here, but you turn 18 in a month. So you can get hired here now to take the spot that's available, but then you can't be on the air, you know, physically to get paid on air until you're 18. So then I just helped with commercials and learned all that kind of stuff. But like, that's all beside the point. But I don't even remember where I was going with all this, but I just like, it was just one of those like bugs where it just kind of like kept me into during the entertainment part of it to come back to. And it just like I can't sit there and like we were talking about being organized, is like doing this for so long. Now I remember where I was going with this, is that, you know, I could sit here and ask you all. I don't have nothing prepared. I have nothing here. I could sit here and piggyback off what you guys did and have an interview system and talk to you and go back and forth. Like I noticed, like, hey, Nick's talking, CBC's talking, and Ally's not really talking very much. How to spin what we're talking about and bring this other person in, and how to like make sure that the balance is there and stuff like that. I can professionally do that in my head, but I still need to, when I sit down 1v1, when I talk to people, I need to have all the questions there. And I need to have it all written out and all that kind of stuff. And I could sit here and ask the questions, but then as they're talking, I could like lose myself into what I'm listening to and forget what the fuck I'm doing. And then I have to reference that stuff. So like for Ally to ask what questions you're doing, for CBC to write them down or do whatever, and for Nick to go, I can just ask questions, whatever. And then I was like, well, what if you lose yourself? And like, fuck, yeah, you're right. I should write them down. Like just like kind of like an experience kind of thing is like, you might not ask any of the questions, might piggyback off all that kind of shit, but you have it there to reference just in case. And I will Google the fuck out of thousands of questions. And I might find like 3 that I like. And then once that I find...
you told me to Google, but it's like,
yeah.
Okay, and then I forget.
yeah. So then, yeah, I'll come up with like...
oh, well.
Yeah, like 3 questions I like. And then it'll piggyback off of like, all right, I can ask this question. And then after I ask this question, what are 6 other questions based on this? And trying to predict the answer of they're going to give so you understand what the next question is going to be. So it's just one of those weird like professionalisms that I've been doing for such a long time that I don't even think about, by the way. But
Is that how you get so inspired by everything that you're making and that you come out with and bring out to the community?
Like how? What do you mean? Like how do I get inspired?
Yeah, how do you get inspired by that? Because
to be honest, I agree with Nick, because to be honest, you just come up with the most amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I wish I was more like that, more enthusiastic into your like that. I mean, like, when I stream, I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'm just fucking whatever. But here, you're concentrated on a certain, and you always are. You putting your shit out. You're tweeting, you're discording, you're putting it. I'm just like, wow, he's really into it. I mean, like, I wish I was more into that, but I'm not.
Let narrow down one specific, because I could talk about 6 different things. Narrow down one thing for me, and I'll try to help it. I'll try to come up with an answer for you.
I mean, like, say, like, when you did this thing.
Oh, okay.
So what gave you the idea to do this?
Okay. What? Okay. So this event here, I'll narrow down for this one. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to come up with. I was thinking about the Skin-a-thons, and I don't want to sound insulting when I say this, because this sounds really shitty. So please don't take this the wrong way for anybody that hears this or anybody that's here that whatever. I have this problem with doing something over and over again. Like there's captains out there that for Skin-a-thons, what CBC is it 3 months? Is like you can only do
every
one every
3 months.
Every 3 months.
Every 90 days.
Yeah. So there's captains out there that literally every 90 days will do a Skin-a-thon, and they'll do pretty decent, and they'll unlock skins. They'll do whatever. They'll do a great job. Like, good for them. I can't.
I wouldn't be able to do that either. I don't even have my first one out, and I'm nervous to ever actually have one.
But even though people that are really good at doing Skin-a-thons are really good at like having the team around them, I just can't, because I want to do something different. Like when I look at my Skin-a-thon from June, I knew it was going to be an interview. I knew it was going to be studio reveal, and I knew it was going to be bringing people in just to have a little bit of fun, just to kind of like kick off a brand new aspect of my streaming future. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so then, all right. Then I jumped into what's my next event. I didn't unlock it boosted. So, okay, fine. What can I do next? And then I was like, okay, let's I'm not going to do a subathon because I am not going to do the subathons that some people do. If I'm going to do a subathon, I better fucking have like 4 or 5 days of sleep, like fucking some type of fucking pillow back there or something like that, because once my stream goes live, I'm not going to end my stream until that subathon's over. And hey, no judgment for those that that can put in there and go, I have 20 hours. Even Coco, a partnered streamer, fucking wonderful dude. He had a subathon and he went too long and he had to stop it and then he had to start it over again. Okay, more power to him. You can do that like that. I don't see that purpose. I said, if you're going to do a subathon, you're going to keep going until you're fucking done, until whatever. I wanted to do something different and I wanted to come up with something different to whatever. So then I'm like, okay, well, what if I do bits? Like, what if I do something different that like you don't see very often? And how do I interject the bits to skins? And I'm like, I don't even know if I could pull it off. Let's be honest with you. I had the idea and I'm like, I don't even know if I can even do it. And I was sitting in freaking Discord with Nick and I'm like, let me build this fucking like the thing that's right over there on that side of the skin. Can I? Yeah, exactly. Thanks, CBC. The other way.
No way.
Yeah.
I gotta remember it goes backwards and forwards.
Yeah. And then I was like, how do I make this? And I'm like, okay, well, I put two on top of each other. Can I make them different? Cool, I can do it. Oh, I can change the colors. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. Okay, and then I built it. I'm like, okay, that's not good enough. That's not enough. Okay, and what if I give away skins? How do I relabel this? And then it just turned into something. It was like, I don't know. Like, I just want to make something good, and I want to make something that's like just different. And even if like I said earlier, if I have like 3 people in channel that loves doing what we're doing, or for some reason I have one person that's giving away more bits than freaking like I shake my head, but I accept it, whatever it is, whatever, like whatever. And like and just the same thing as the skinathon. I had 2 main people that bought probably 70% of the skins. Okay, fine, great. I appreciate that. I love you to death and I will love them if they bought 1 skin versus however many skins. It doesn't really matter what they do. So like, just understand that. But like, to go back to the creative part of it, it's just, I want to design. I want to do something different. And when you're scrolling through Twitter, or Blue Sky or Facebook or wherever the hell you're getting your data or whatever, and you see like CVC does Skinathon, and I'll use, because one of out of all of us, there's only 2 of us that have done one so far. And I look at his ads and I look at my ads and I look at other people's ads. And I'm like, how can I make that different? How can I make that more stand out? How can I, sometimes they just throw pictures on, the social media. How can I animate it? How can I make it look good? Like, I just can't stop. And
I feel like
can't.
I feel like you have, when it comes to whether it's your streams or the content you post, you have a purpose. Like, you have a focus for it and you want to keep improving it. And that's what I think sets you apart from a lot of other streamers that we watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I appreciate
the
that.
background changes every month when it comes to what month it is and everything, and it's great.
The holiday or the game I'm playing, all that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I and it took me 3.5 years to find my like background that I like. And if you look at the panels, they're all the same. Like, it's one of those, and might be because of all the YouTube videos I watched before I started streaming. Like, consistency. It's like how things look. Like, what represents you? Like, right now I'm scrolling through the panels just because I'm that way. But like, every panel, like, if you look at them, they're all like, they all have the same background, but the neon icon on the right side, they're all green, but they all represent that represents whatever the panel is. Like, Facebook has the F, Discord has the logo, Blue Sky has the bird, the music credit has a guitar, like all that kind of stuff, but they're all neon green because I want them to all be very standardized and all that kind of stuff. So it took me a long time to do that. And I had standardized ones before, but they were okay. They were halfway decent, but like, then evolution that happens, and then probably next year and sometime toward the end of 2025, I'll be fucking sick of them and I want something different. Like it's just the inspiration, like what Allie asked about inspiring and all that stuff, or whoever asked. I'm sorry. It's I can't settle with mediocrity in my head. I have to be proud of what I'm doing, and that's where I'm at. So, wow, that was a long ass answer for a short fucking question.
That was a good answer though.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for? And we're going a little long, but that's okay. Keep going.
I did want to ask about your wife. I never actually asked about your wife. I don't really see. I've seen pictures, but I don't actually. I know you don't really talk about her a lot. But I know that I've seen some pictures on Facebook. I always was curious about.
Yeah. So me and her have been together for a very, very long time. I don't talk about her too much because her life is not very public. She is, I'm gonna try to put it in a way where it doesn't sound bad, but she's not that. I mean, she doesn't publicize hardly anything on Facebook. She doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. So I don't talk too much about it because that's not her world that she wants to be a part of. So I let her world be. But I mean, just small things. She's a chiropractor and she is the mother of the kids. So I try to leave the basics out. So we just kind of like build and grow and all that kind of stuff what we have. So you might sporadically hear throughout the last 4 years, if you've been around a little bit, then it sporadically comes out.
So
like
to be honest, I didn't even know what her name was until you said earlier.
Oh yeah. Because I just try to. I mean, I knew it was probably going to come out eventually, but like, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like her world, and she doesn't even do social media very much for the business. It's her business that does the social media for her and stuff like that, and it's just
cool.
not her forte. But yeah, that's kind of why I don't really talk that side of it very much. I mean, when I talk about my kids, I have kids, but you've noticed I don't bear it. It's very rare I even say their names on channel. Like even tonight I said A and B. And I realized that I said that after I said, I'm like, oh, I didn't even mean to fucking like leave it out, but I just noticed, but like, I'll let them choose. I think, when my kids grow up and they want to be, social media, or if they want to be, in front of the camera, or they want to do that, I'll let them make them choose that. But
Would you, I don't like when you kids get older, obviously.
Yeah.
When your kids get older, are you gonna allow them on your stream?
If they want to be. Again, I usually go live after they go to bed, so that's not really that way. When I go live during the daytime, I
know it's like
might be
just,
different when I go
wanna,
days.
mix out, but
Yeah.
like like sometimes when my star puts her kids on her stream, she puts the filter on, so she doesn't want to show the kids. And I was wondering if you ever do like a thing like that.
I think it's going to be in agreement with family itself. So if she's okay with it and they're okay with it, then allow it to happen.
Right. I mean, like say like just have them come on the mic, not and have like a filter on or something, or maybe just not have the camera on or something like that.
Maybe. Again, it's like I'll bring this up because there was a conversation me and Nick had a long time ago, and I don't know if this was in one of the interviews. I don't know if whatever it is, but it struck me, and I was like sitting there. It's like what is one thing you miss when you were a kid? And people were always like, oh, I miss my toys, or I miss my parents being together, or I miss this, or I miss that, and all that kind of stuff. Like when I think about it, my biggest thing I miss when I was a kid is my innocence. And to bring it back to your question,
I remember that conversation.
Yeah. And when you think about my kids being on stream and stuff, Mystic said I missed the carrot. Sorry. If I put them on stream now, they won't know anything about it. They won't know the purpose. They won't understand why. And they just know that they're just there to like bounce around and just have a good time or whatever like that, which is fine. Like, no judgment because I know Nick and her kid, because it's just her and her. So she allows it, so it's okay. I don't know if 5 years from now they're gonna resent me if I use, like, once I use, bring them on stream and then they look back at it and like, man, I wish I would never have done that, or I wish I would have done that. Like, I
That
don't
makes sense.
like it.
To be honest,
Yeah,
when it comes to me with Sophia, her father does not like it
yeah,
whatsoever. So
Oh,
I
yeah?
just turned around and was like, well, I've got to find a way to fit streaming into my life
yeah.
now that I'm alone and doing everything by myself.
Right.
Like, I pay for everything, I do everything. Like, even when I'm streaming, I'm constantly getting up and like having to go
Mm-hmm.
help her. Like,
And-
it's
Yeah, to be it's I have no opinion on it because I'm not a mom.
Mhm.
But I'm saying I bet being a single mom is difficult.
Yeah, I mean it's tough.
fucking
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah.
And I had tears the other night about it being as hard as it was. I wasn't going to go live, and I just turned around and I was like, I can't, because I'm so defeated because my daughter took all my energy away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let me
Because I don't have the bouncing board like most people do. Like, I don't
Right.
have somebody who's there to be like taking most of the burden off me. Like,
Mhm.
I'm
So-
pretty sure at one stage my neighbor, Gunshy,
Mhm.
actually, Gunshy is my neighbor.
Yeah, yeah.
She had to come over and help me because Sophia wouldn't clean up a mess. And
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, because I'm streaming and I didn't want to yell on stream, but
Mhm.
it's at the same time as like, I need help.
So okay.
Like, I can't do
Yeah,
all of
it's
this
good to have.
alone.
So
You know,
since
you
we're
gotta have help. You can't do it all to yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So since we're all different, like, then that's what I love about this one, is that single mom with kids, single like with somebody without kids, and then CBC trying to have kids. Now
Yeah.
now let me ask you this, CBC,
Mhm.
with all this kind of stuff. How do you see yourself as a streamer, and when your kid is finally born, what do you think about that, bringing them on stream and stuff?
There's a joking side I have with my wife, like a joking understanding, and she'll just roll her eyes. And she always does. She gets her exercise that way. But but there's also like the serious side where, like, you know, I guess like screen time is a big thing for kids growing up these days, right? Like being in front of a computer and everything. So I think I'm pretty flexible and pretty open-minded. If you know, my wife says no, there'll be some discussion,
Yeah.
and then we'll either decide yes or no.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you know, streaming life afterwards, I think the focus is going to be the kid first.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it has to be.
And
yeah.
then if they want to be involved, like, oh, hey, what dad's doing is pretty cool, like,
Mhm.
I want to check it out, you know, I'll kind of show them the ropes before actually going on stream. Like, this is what happens, like, this is why, like, kind of like teaching a kid a sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Or how to ride a bike. And if they're still interested, then, you know, you can help them pursue that. But I also have a lot of friends my age who do have kids already, and I kind of like learn and like observe how their approach, and have discussions with my wife, like, oh yeah, this is a pretty neat idea, or like, oh, didn't think of it that way, or, you know, just even our own upbringing is like, oh, my mom and dad would do this, but her parents don't do that. So, you know, finding that median, and even when we get to babysit some of our friends' kids, it's almost like a trial run.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but they're not our kids, so it's like you kind of have to be extra
Yeah.
cautious, because something happens, you can't give a new kid back to the parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's for me, I think it's just a matter of being flexible. I think my personality is gonna be, I try to look at the positive,
Yeah.
no matter what. And I think I do have like great resources and friends, whether it's like people in the city I live, or, you know, over the streaming world with like you folks, I can lean on and seek advice
100%.
from. So yeah.
So do
Yeah.
you think like if the conversation comes about where like say we don't like say your wife and you
Mhm.
come to an agreement that not to allow the kid on stream,
Mhm.
is there at a certain age where you let the kid to decide, or do you both have to come to an agreement together before that happens to allow them on stream?
I think there'll be a discussion. I think who knows in let's say 5 years from now, even like what the streaming world's gonna look like,
True
right?
that, yeah.
Like like even with my wife now, like she says, no way I'm going on stream, no way you'll ever hear my voice either, right? Like during Scannathons, she'll like kind of like just slightly open the door and just like have her hand there, and I'll like like just reach out and
Here's
grab
your
it kind of
dinner.
thing, right?
Leave it alone.
Yeah,
like
that kind of thing, and then like she goes off to do her thing, like
Yeah.
and I totally respect that. And if I need something from her stream, like she'll do that, and I think it's gonna be the same somewhat with a kid. I'll do my thing. I might even do what Liquid's doing, like kind of set them off to bed first, and then do my own thing, and then just finding that balance for myself first. And then whether or not they, having that discussion with my wife. I think communication is key. I think that's a common theme tonight.
Right. Yeah.
And I would say, depending on the age of the kid at that time, either you include the kid in there, and I think including the kid also gives that kid ownership of input of that decision.
Yeah.
Right. And then you kind of you just go with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then you learn from the first one, and if there's a second one,
Yeah, exactly.
right, you can try something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Sophia coming into stream being like, "What are you doing, Mum?" Like so overly intrigued, and now she wants to start making YouTube videos, and she wants to do this,
Yeah.
and she wants to do that. But then it's like her father wants her to get into kart racing, to grow up to be a V8 supercar driver, and I'm like,
Thank you, J.Crew.
it's ultimately her decision what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's what she wants to do is start streaming. I was like, babe, you're 6 years old. You're 7 in April. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you're a bit too young to
Yeah, I
start
would
doing
say
it.
I mean, there
chill
is
on that.
I think there is like a 9-year-old or something like that that's really big in streaming that plays Fortnite. That's fucking amazing and makes.
Yeah,
and
Sophia's
that.
watching her right now because I walked into her because she yelled out my name, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay, I'll have to. And she's showing me, and I'm like, see, this is where my problem is. This is where predators are at.
Yeah.
And she was like, Mom, I want to play Roblox. And I was like, there is one game in this whole entire fucking world I will not let my daughter play.
Yeah.
And that is Roblox. I played Roblox for 15 minutes once, and I turned around and was like, getting hit on by a random person. They didn't even know my fucking age. And I was like, hell fucking no, you're not having that game.
No.
And I'm pretty sure Gunshy also had the same issue with her son.
Oh wow.
Like sneakingly playing Roblox.
I
And
don't understand that game.
I don't either.
I don't either.
Crazy
but-
about it, and I'm like,
He's
what
not
is this?
playing it. And I was just like, that's not on. I don't want my daughter to sneak play games behind me. Like, if she's going to play something,
Stream Raiders.
Yeah.
There you go.
there you go.
Drop some fucking
Like
units.
she loves Stream Raiders. She sits on my lap when they have like little things on the screen, being like, and because she's learning how to breed words, like she sits there and she says everything, and it's like, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
And then it gets slightly annoying. I'm not gonna lie, she's gotten very comfortable with that one, but it's the fact that she is comfortable in front of a camera. Like when I was her age, I was petrified of being in front of a camera. I think it took me until 4 years ago to like literally press go live. Like I wanted to stream for like 10 years ago. I didn't. I was too petrified. But now that I've been streaming for so long, I'm like, I don't mind her being on camera because that's self-confidence right there. If you can have the confidence to sit with your camera on, even when you have anxiety, even when you have panic attacks, even when like the world feels like it's on your shoulders, like that is one of the best things that you can do.
Yeah.
Because it gets you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It pushes you through. that wall that people don't like to push through.
Yeah. Speaking
And
of
if you can't push through walls,
speaking of pushing through walls, so how long did it take, Allie? How long did it take you to go from streaming? You said you started what in 2018, 2019, somewhere around there.
2019.
2019 to turn your camera on and actually be comfortable with it.
out of 33 out of 30.
I don't remember exactly. I know when I came back in 2020, I still didn't have the camera on until and if I do have the camera on, which I have right now, but
Yeah.
what if I do have the camera on, I'm very, very, how do you say, OCD.
Yeah.
It has to be perfect, and
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's not perfect,
Yeah.
it's gonna drive me fucking nuts. And it drives me fucking nuts. I'm gonna turn it off because it gets on my nerves. I'm like, it's not gonna be. It's gotta be right. It's gotta. Because I don't like the stuff that I don't. I like the things that cut. Like I don't want anything showing on it that I don't want any people seeing.
Yeah.
I don't have a green screen, so I'm just like people can see the shit that I have behind me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, and then that's why I try to angle the camera toward the wall, so you just see the shit on the wall and not anything else.
No, I get that.
But I have confidence to have the camera on. I had the confidence to turn on for this interview thing. So, but when I was streaming earlier, it wasn't on until the end because I was just ending. And I decided to turn it on because I wanted to check it and see if it was good, for the interview. And it seemed okay. And I was like, okay, well, and another thing is that a lot of times in my streams, I have the mic muted because, first of all, when I go back in the VOD, I don't like the sound of my voice. So I'm like, I always sound like a child.
Well, I mean,
so that's why a lot of the times, a lot of my streams, you see that there's no cam, no mic, because I don't have the self-confidence, I guess.
Speaking of hearing voices,
self-confidence, then I'm still beating myself up, saying, "Now look at that, it looks nasty."
I mean,
I'm always beating myself, thinking, "Oh, look at this."
We
shitty. So I'm like, yeah. So and that's why a lot of the times I'm lurking.
Yeah, we all are our worst critic for sure. Speaking,
I am my own worst enemy, as you would say.
Yeah, I mean, Allie doesn't have her headset on, but like I noticed that CBC and Nick does. Like, do you hear your voice in your headphones?
Double being on, like having your stream slightly on.
Yeah. But like,
I think I do.
But
Yeah, I do hear my
I
voice.
kind of
you do hear it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had my
When I was streaming earlier,
like
I
the
had
whole
my
time when we did
my
the
headset
interview in October.
Yeah.
I had it on so I could actually hear the way that I sounded, and then that's the reason why I've been able to go back and rewatch the interview, being like, "Hey, that wasn't as bad as what I thought it was." Like,
yeah,
okay.
I think the reason why I'm very adamant of having a voice hearing me on is because if I hit the button now, I don't hear myself. I hear you guys right now. And I feel like in a conversation, if I'm sorry, I need to turn that fucking back on. If I'm in a room talking to somebody, it's not like you put your ears in your fucking your fingers in your ears and you drown yourself out and you talk to somebody. You hear your voice talking to somebody in person. So I don't know what the difference is. Like, why do people like feel like they need to? Like,
I guess it's because you're worried about what other people think, which you
I think
shouldn't.
for the fact that you're
But
in it, like
but
what
I
you,
do.
like your inner voice, what you think your voice sounds like is a lot different to other people.
okay.
And I think that's what really gets people not wanting to listen to their own voice, because it's like, oh, in my head that it doesn't sound like that.
Garfield told me that he doesn't like his own voice either. So every time when he's about to read it out and he hears it, he's like, shit, I want to hear myself. He's like,
It's like if I hear a voice message or something like that from me that my mum showed me, I'm like,
yeah.
was I drunk?
Was I drunk? Yeah.
Was I drunk when I made that? But she would be like, you were slurring your words, but you made complete sense. I'm like, I don't like the sound of my voice. Thank you. Let's like.
I mean, most of the
not
time it's the
listen to
sound. I mean, yeah, you're right. When you go back and listen to your VODs and stuff like that, yeah, listen to yourself is kind of hard, and blah blah blah, because obviously you hear yourself for who you are versus what you think you hear and all that kind of stuff. But like, if I don't know. It doesn't sound like I'm having a conversation at the same time with somebody if I don't hear my own self talk to people. Like that would be weird. And I had to and in my setup, this is weird. Like I don't like you have a wireless headset, like and you don't really turn yourself on, but like if you did, like I know it. I saw your voice. I saw your face. I meant your microphone, by the way, just so you know. But what I'm saying is that with a wireless headphones, if you have it a specific way, your voice comes back at you a split second later, and it will throw you off when you have a conversation. Like me, I talk into here, but I actually talk into this too, so I can just hear my voice. Like this microphone is for me.
You know what? I
else.
always wondered that.
Yeah. So if you so here
because I'm like because you have this mic here and I'm wondering, do you have this mic on?
It is.
I always wondered.
It is on for me because I need to hear my voice. Because this microphone goes straight in my ear and it's spot on like whatever it is. But if I shut this off,
I always wondered that.
And I want to hear my voice out of this. By the time it goes through here, down and around, and through a wireless headphones, and then spits wirelessly here, it has like that the lag
delay.
Yeah, and you can't fucking do that. Now, you will see me like on Christmas. I'll be streaming for 3 hours on Christmas night doing our seasonal support streams, and I'll have my guitar.
I'd be ready.
Yeah, and she'll be 3 hours before me. I'll have my guitar, and I probably will have a wired headphones in. By doing that, you won't see a microphone because the wired headphones straight into the mixer won't have a delay. So if they're wired, they don't have a delay, so I don't need this. But since I'm wireless and I'm walking around, that's why this is here. This is only for me. You guys don't even hear this at all. This microphone is for chat, and there's a little tiny one right here. Most people don't even see this one, like right here. This one's for the PlayStation. I plugged that one directly in the headset, and then somebody can hear me as clean as day. Like it's a little tiny one, like right behind the microphone. So I plugged that in the headset. So when I play with Jay or when I do voice chat on PlayStation or whatever, I'm as clear as possible, not trying to speak into whatever, because I can't take this microphone and send it to the console like most people do when you're playing on PC. But when you're playing through a console, you have to have a separate mic. I could sit here and I can have my literally controller here and speak into the microphone and the controller and still be just as good. But that would look, I mean, I want to sit like this the whole time when I'm streaming. That's not going to happen. So I figured out a way for it to work. So now like when I'm on console and I'm playing Fortnite with Jay or anybody else, this one's for me. This one's for chat. This one's for, a PlayStation. So
welcome Arts in Motion.
Arts, thank you so much for that. Providing even having a little one work. Yeah, exactly. You're right, Striok. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the size as long as you can hear
it. Works.
I have different microphones too. So.
But majority of you all, like almost all y'all, all y'all.
The main mic is this one right here.
Like, am I the only one that like console streams? Like everybody else is PC, right?
I used to do console when I first started, and that's when I did not have like a PC at all. And then I did do I did link up the console too. And this was even before Stream Raiders. I would play like NHL on the PlayStation, and I would screen capture it that way. And back then I wouldn't really talk with chat because there's no one chatting back then. It was just me and my buddies who we play together online.
Yeah. And you streamed from your
the Switch.
Yeah, and you streamed from your console?
Yeah, I streamed from console, to start.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Yeah.
I've always been a PC streamer, so.
But then I know Ally does Switch. I played Switch and the PlayStation, and then
I only just split
You're just now starting to set up
Switch.
your Switch, because we're gonna start doing other stuff from the Switch and stuff like that. But and then I know CBC does. You do Switch sometimes, do you? Or you're getting the Switch soon?
I only do Switch when you ask.
Yeah. Okay, so you do have a Switch. Yeah.
It's always when he asks that we have to go straight into it. It's like, okay.
No, once again, I'm just pulling out.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah.
I don't do that shit unless you ask.
I play Fall Guys, and when I'm playing Fall Guys, I usually play on the Switch. But for some reason, I don't know why, I don't know if it's a conflict or something, but I always play Fall Guys with Dude Black, right?
Yeah.
And when I play with on Switch with him, that makes him crash.
Oh, really? That's weird.
And I'm like, is it me? And I'm like, because when he's playing with other people, and I'm not on the Switch, he doesn't crash. But immediately I join on the Switch, boom, there he goes. I'm like,
that's a server
okay.
thing. I don't think
then
that's
I
you.
decided to switch, play on Epic and play on PC. And I'm like, when I was playing on Epic and playing on PC, no crash.
That's weird.
So I'm wondering, is it the Switch that's doing that?
I don't know.
Well, I tried to play the cooking simulation on my Switch the other day.
Yeah.
And nothing worked. I could walk around, I couldn't press buttons or anything, and I'm like... And then I played it on my computer, and then it worked straight away.
Oh, I can't play on the Switch, but
Street Hawk said
load it up on PC.
Yeah, Street Hawk said that the Switch has a lot of issues with Fall Guys, so I don't know if that's just a server thing, that's connection or something like that.
Yeah, because he plays on Xbox.
Yeah.
So.
Can I just go circle back to the voices part that you guys were talking about? Yeah. So for me, in grade 5, I remember my teacher back then, like, she would get us to read part of a novel and record it and then submit it to her, and then she kind of grades it and gives critiques on our pronunciation, how we're sounding. And I think from that point forward, like, just hearing my own voice, I kind of got used to it, even though perhaps I didn't like it. But then as I grew older and I was like part of choir and whatnot, and hearing compliments from coaches or fellow friends saying, hey, you actually have a really good voice, I think that helps build that confidence.
Well, definitely.
And I think, like, one time, was it Coco's stream? No, I remember Coco was in a stream with me somehow, and then he's just like, yo, like, CBC, you have a really, like, mysterious voice, so, like, that kind of instills this weird confidence within me, that, like, I don't really mind my voice. Maybe that's why I like talking and my wife doesn't want to hear me that much, but I think just having other people kind of affirm that your voice is heard and that they're hearing you, it's huge for your confidence.
Before you move on to the next question, because we're bleeding into this a little bit. I don't care how late we go, by the way, as long as you guys have time. Again, I want to respect your guys' time, but you said a key phrase in your sentence, and you said you were in choir. There's no way that you can sing without hearing yourself, because you don't know what pitch you're in, you don't know how loud you're being, you don't know how soft you need to be, and all that kind of stuff. And